What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. We got another statue in the house. This is by Blitzway. It is the Terminator 2 Judgment Day Endoskeleton arm. I got this from a Chinese seller I had never ordered from, Hannah Lee. She gave me a pretty good price. Definitely much better than like eBay and whatnot. I believe it's brand new, but she shipped it relatively quickly. It did take about a month and a half to get to me, which is a little longer. It could just be customs were slower. I don't know. But usually it takes about a month to arrive. But it came in two boxes. That box, and then this is the little Endo chip. As you guys know, I used to own the Endo from HCG Sideshow. It was decent, pretty good. I sold it. And this one's definitely better. The only thing it lacks is a light up inside the actual arm tube. I thought it had that until I watched some reviews. This has a light up, and obviously the chip is a really cool addition. And then this, of course, also moves, which is a huge highlight. I'm just curious in general, like on the paint app and the quality all around, because I know Blitzway is very good quality. Definitely better than HCG, who I do consider to be subpar. That one is very old as well. Anyways, let's open these boxes and see what we got. Alrighty, so I already cut open the boxes. I haven't taken anything out yet. These things are always kind of annoying. I prefer them on the inside, but they do double box these as well. So we'll take out the Endo chip first. I am excited to see that. Packaging is so good by Blitzway. That's one thing I definitely appreciate. Like every Blitzway statue I've received, the Khaleesi, the Black Adam. I'm so excited for the Arnold and T1000. Oh my gosh. But they really go all out on their packaging. Really makes you appreciate, just what you get. Looks like we gotta just remove this. So it looks like Sideshow may have collabed with Blitzway on this. It's possible. There's a Sideshow logo on here. I know Sideshow helped distribute it, but oh my Jupiter. This is really, I'm just gonna have to cut this. This does not want to fold back. Alrighty. Okay. So here is the little tube, which we'll set down. Yeah, you don't need to like take the styrofoam out per se. Really in here good. This is actually really heavy. It's very heavy. They even wrapped it as well with some sort of like plastic wrap. Similar to like, what you'd cover your food with. So on the back they have a little switch. And then on the front is a nice logo. And then additionally we have the AC adapter, huge AC adapter, oh my goodness. Yeah, that is very big. So I'll put that on in a moment. I want to get everything out and clean my hands or put gloves on. With the way this is being like, pretty sure it's like metal. I don't really want to touch it with my bare skin. I prefer to use gloves. So I'm going to whip out some gloves for this. But that is why the box was heavy though, because that thing is probably all metal. Yeah, screw it. I don't care about this. So there is this one. We'll just go ahead and put this back real quickly. But again, their packaging is so premium. Makes me think how PCS has gotten rid of like art boxes and their packaging is very subpar. And frankly, their company is just, I'm not a fan. All right, so that is the chip. Let's get this out, and I'll, oh shoot, forgot to put this back in the box. Put that to the side. All right. I know I have gloves around here. Really don't want to touch this with my hand. Got to get some. There's at least one. Really trying not to touch this just because I know it will get fingerprints. Take the bottle, put it over here. All right, let's see what's in the big box. So they do a layer of bubble wrap on top. So it's double boxed with bubble wrap. That reminds me of how Black Adam was. I remember I actually decided to throw away his box because I needed it for something else. All right, we gotta get the little X-Acto knife to cut the tape. Alrighty, endoskeleton arm. Move this box back. Alright. It's taped up right here, so you gotta actually, looks like that is the top. So I can probably keep the plastic on. Let's see, how does this come off? Or is that the, no, that's gotta be the bottom. You really do have to remove the plastic. I wish they would do it the other way around because I prefer not to remove the plastic. It's just very difficult to get the plastic back on. I don't know, maybe companies assume that we're gonna throw away this box. All right. How the frick do you even open this? Okay. There literally is no, what the Jupiter? Wait. Oh my goodness, you gotta open it like this. All right. Oh, and this one does have straps. All right. There's a little instruction pamphlet right here, which also has a tool. So soon we'll have to use that. Yeah, we're gonna have to use that tool for sure since they gave it to us. They would not give it to you if you didn't need it. They actually give you two tools. There's a little one in there as well. So I'll have to look at the instructions, but you do get these two tools. I should be able to leave the styrofoam in and just take out the top layer. This feels bigger than the last one I had. It definitely is bigger. Like 30% bigger. I definitely remember the size of the last one I got. This is definitely bigger. Nameplate. Underneath it was the nameplate. So the last one I had a nameplate This actually feels very cheap, honestly. It feels like it's plastic. It looks good though, so I don't care what it's made out of. But it is kind of light, so I may want to use putty. Actually, it looks like it snaps in right there. But that was underneath the arm. All right. We're going to go clean our hands real quickly. And then we can start touching this, building it up. Alrighty. So let's get to it. So, looks like you have to take this off. And we will need tape cutter. Did I get it? Let's see. It's not a perfect straight line. This is like, dude, bro, seriously? They did not take, like the styrofoam isn't, like, there's no outline of where to even cut it. So we got the, okay, there we go. Jupiter. Yeah, like inserts, but the tape, the way you cut it is just weird. So, all right, we're almost done, folks. I remember on the last one, you would insert the arm, so that it is different. Again, they have a bunch of tape, so we're gonna just need to cut that. This is a brand new Secto knife I got, so it's super sharp. And of course you have that, and there you go. And of course we're gonna want to dust this. One of these is coming up. I know that's just there for looks though. I can definitely say with confidence that the arm itself looks better than the HCG. All right, so we should be good. That's basically it for the arm. All you have to do is plug it in. You don't have to set anything up per se, but we can go ahead and insert this, which does not have a, as far as I can tell, there's no plastic that you have to remove. All right, so it sits in like that. Then what the heck are the tools for? Maybe it's to make adjustments. All right. Shoot. It's had a little sticker on it. You got to remove the little arrow. They each had like a little sticker. God, this sticker's stubborn. Ugh. All right. Sticker is removed. There's no residue. And this one, there is batteries at the bottom. Let's see, what battery type is this? 4 AA. So 4 AA. So, and then this one is the plug-in. So give me a second, folks. Alrighty, folks, I finally got everything set up. Now, I don't know why, but this is not an American plug-in. It's some, I don't know what brand, but I had to find an adapter. Luckily, I had one from my old DBZ days, old Zhuang Yi MRC statue or VCage was not a US plug-in, so I had an adapter. So I got the adapter, got it plugged in. I've already tested everything out to make sure it works. So I thought there was 3 modes because there's 3 buttons, but there's actually only 2 modes. I had to read the instructions because I'm like, button C's not doing anything. And it actually just resets it in case of a malfunction. So that is that. Additionally, this thing was not lighting up after I plugged in or put in 4 fresh new batteries. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because they were brand new Costco batteries. And so I was like, okay. So I decided to throw in 4 different brand new batteries, and I finally got it to work. So here's the light up. Very weak and pathetic, if I'm honest. So it's like, eh. But this also has an IR signal thing here in the back. So if you place this directly in front of this, you don't have to reach back here and find these little buttons. You literally just press the button. Now, I don't know if it'll work at this angle, but we're gonna try it. But there's 3 buttons right here up at the front. So let's see if any of these work. No, so you do have to have it directly, like let's say you put this right here and you don't put the logo, which is probably how I'll do it. The logo's okay, but this kind of acts as a logo as well. It is a shame, honestly, there is no blue light up inside of here. The light up here really is weak, but here, I'll show you the arms now, 2 modes. That's like mode B, which actually does hit the glass wall twice. And then it always resets back to the normal position. And then here's like a fist one. Just like a tight fist, and then releases it. So 2 modes, that's it. The fist grip, and then just the random finger moving. So this is the first, if you want to call it like animatronic statue I have that has like a working motor and moves the statue. I've had the first 4 figures, which does a little rotating on the Metal Gear Solid, but this is the first one that like does this. So it is something that is more or less like next level, if you want to call it. Now, of course, this can have long-term issues. What if the motor stops working? It glitches. The constant moving breaks something inside. So there definitely is dangers, I will say, and risks of this failing. Now, let me go ahead and I'm going to remove that. I'm curious. So let's say we turn this light up off. Will this still work? No. So this does have to be lit on with the little power button here. So you do this, and then you can press the button to get it to work. Now, looking at what potentially could break, I would say those little wires attached to the finger like this, those, I think if you were to use it too much, I don't know, they look very fragile. So that is something I would probably worry about. Everything else, I don't think you'll have many issues with. Now, I have seen some people display it with or without the glass. That's kind of up to you if you want to do it. Obviously, with the no glass, it's not going to hit it when you do that function. Let me show you this adapter I got right there. So, and then you have this massive plug-in. I'm not going to keep this plugged in. I will basically plug it in maybe once a year just to like test it out. Obviously, I've played with it several times now. I've got to see the feature. It is very cool. But at the end of the day, I don't use light ups too often. I just usually honestly kind of check them when I'm dusting. So every, let's say 3 months, I might check it. But yeah, I'll put this plug just in the, under the stairs. And then when I do want to plug it in, I'll have to get that adapter, which I'll keep with this actually, because I have no other adapters that need that. So I'll just keep it permanently together. And then I do have a plug in there. So, but yeah, this is definitely bigger than the HCG, I will say. Here in the back, this is what it has. Little Cyberdyne logo, the 3 buttons, the plug-in. Very tall piece, especially when you add that glass, it raises it another few inches. I like doing the glass. That's how it was in the movie. They threw it on the ground to break it, got the arm out. Same thing with the little endo chip, which I will kind of like show you guys. So check out the endo chip. It's broken. It's from the original movie that they got these. And that does say Blitzway Sideshow T800 brain chip. And then that one does say Endoskeleton arm. So they're about the same, except for this one obviously has that Cyberdyne Systems logo right here, which is cool. This is my other brain chip I have, which is smaller. This is one off Etsy. It's just 3D printed. Let me compare the two. You can kind of see that. Like, yeah, this is way bigger. But I will say this is, I'm sure, more accurate. But this works good for what I use it for. Definitely a massive size difference. Yeah, they're definitely quite different. This one has like a black and then another red side. This is just one red side. So I'm sure this one is more accurate. Being from Blitzway, they obviously, I'm sure, collabed with the studios that made this, probably like Stan Winston, and made this 100% movie accurate to everything. And then, of course, here's my life-size endo arm. Yeah, and it's more or less that exact thing right there that I would be worried about. Long-term longevity, the little wire connecting to each arm. In general, the arm looks very good. It is definitely shiny, so it has a shine to it. The whole display has a shine to it because it is metal as far as I know. Like, everything feels like it's metal. Except for this, it's just like a silver aluminum, where the arm is more of that metallic silver look. Very nice. Definitely, I think the Endo arm itself looks better than the HCG, which I believe that one originally cost me $600 off eBay, but it had like an acid stain. And then I used like a marker to kind of fix it. And then I sold it for about $1,200. And that obviously has a light up, no moving features. It's smaller, not as good paint app. And it did not include that really nice endo chip display, which is really nice. So, this one definitely looks better overall. Everything about this looks better except for the lack of light up. So at $1,200, this, I paid roughly about retail for this. Retail was $14.55 plus shipping from China. You saw the size of the boxes. So I do think it is worth the going price of the retail. Originally, when this went up for pre-order, I had thought about it many times, but I'm just like, God, that's pricey for just a frickin' prop. But now that I do have it in hand, it definitely feels very premium, and it looks great. A very premium prop, no doubt. So I think it is worth that price tag of, let's just call it $1,500 plus shipping. So if you can find it for that price, pick it up. I have seen this sometimes go on eBay for like $2,500. I don't know the edition size on this, but I know it's sold out and it is rare and hard to get. So it's really just up to you if you want to pay that much. So obviously this is going to go on my Terminator display. So we're going to throw it. I mean, originally, the base is bigger than I did anticipate, if I'm honest. But my plan initially was to do the Arnold bust, then Blitzway, then the Blitzway endo arm, and then the Blitzway T1000. Now, Sarah Connor has a massive base. The other two are going to have bases similar to that Arnold right there. So I feel like I could just fit it right in between the two. It might be a little tight, but I could theoretically scoot things over a little bit. Like this bus is just directly to the edge. I could scoot it off a little bit if I need to. And I could move him a little bit more to the corner. There is definitely about 4 inches. Obviously Pennywise is there, so I kind of did it that way. But I could definitely scoot that 4 inches to the right. This, I could argue 2 inches to the left to create enough space if it looks tight. For now, I mean, I was thinking of just throwing it down low and putting it there. I could just move Sarah Connor down low and do the endo arm right there. But I'm still waiting on the T1000 from Darkseid. Oh my gosh. For now, I'm just going to throw the endo arm right there, though. And I'll probably get the Sideshow Endoskeleton before T1000 by Blitzway, or Darkseid, which is pathetic considering it's been on pre-order for almost 3 years. Sideshow just says February still. Darkseid told me June is when it ships. And knowing them, it'll probably be delayed till October, November, and then all of a sudden March next year it's shipping. So I am not excited for that at all. Darkseid is a pathetic excuse of a company. Anyways, let's go ahead and put this in the display. Alrighty, folks. So this is it standing up, how it looks in a display, and how much shelf space it would take up on a 36-inch wide garage shelf. Now, we'll go ahead and sit down, because that is my angle, literally, all day. Whether I'm playing video games or working. That is how it looks, which looks perfectly fine. So if you want to display them like that, like, let's just say the T1000 by Darkseid is canceled, because I know they've done that before. I could totally just pair this with the or Prime 1 Endo 1/3 in this display, like just those two, like scoot this over and do the Endo 1/3 right next to this in one display. That would look really good. I still think Darkseid will come out with it, like they have to. They already came out with those two, and so they have to come out with the T1000. I'm just so annoyed, and I'm never buying anything from that company again after I get T1000. I got the liquid chrome version coming. But yeah, that's basically how the endo arm looks. We'll show you the entire wall now, just to show it to you. But yeah, eventually, I don't want to do it right now just because I still like the way this looks, but eventually, once T1000 comes, whether it's Darkseid or Prime 1, whichever comes first, it'll replace Sarah, and Sarah will go down low. Then we can move this up, just because she has such a wide base. And it would look better to have Sarah up top with Arnold 1/3 versus the endo arm and Sarah down low. So for now, endo arm gets down low treatment, but eventually it will be top treatment as soon as we get at least one T1000. Although the T1000 looks like it has a pretty big base. I don't know. I think it has to be the Blitzway one we get, honestly. So it has to be Blitzway. If anything, we could pair Sarah with the endo arm down low. Anyways, folks, let me know what you guys think. So as of right now, my first purchase with Hannah Lee that shipped did go smoothly. No issues. So props for that. I still have one other purchase on order from her, but we'll talk about that in another video. Anyways, folks, hope you enjoy this. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.